What's up guys, today we have another requested video, the LG V60 versus the Pixel 9 Pro XL. And a lot of LG V users have been, asking me these questions on, I'm looking to upgrade, I want a new flagship. Should I get the Pixel 9 Pro XL? So this is going to be a tough comparison because after using, comparing these two phones, it's really going to come down to three main things that, we'll talk about in this comparison. But if these things don't, if you don't check these boxes, I would actually just keep my V60. But yeah, there's a lot of reasons to upgrade and there's a lot of reasons to, keep your V60 till the wheels come off. So let's go ahead and dive in here. What I found interesting about this design is that the V60, I feel like if they were making this phone in 2024 and the, LG was still making phones, you kind of see they kind of have the same camera design. And I'm pretty sure that it would be, just as big as the Pixel 9 Pro XL here. So that I thought that was pretty interesting. But yeah, I do like the design on the V60. I think this is aging extremely well. It still has that really nice classy design here. Yeah, the back is glossy. So it will kind of pick up fingerprints, as you guys can see. But I think this design still looks excellent in 2024. It's really holding up well. They're both glass and metal phones. They both look really great. The biggest hardware difference with the V60 and the Pixel 9 Pro XL, there's actually three of them. So one, you have a quad DAC on the V60 down below. You have a headphone jack. That'll give you really good audio. Then number two, you also do have dual screen case support as well too. And then also you do have pen support as well. And you also have, I guess there's a fourth one, you also have SD card support. So yeah, so there's some big hardware differences. You're giving up quite a bit with the V60, but like I said, there are huge benefits with the Pixel 9 Pro XL. So yeah, so that's pretty much the hardware. They both feel great in the hand, both very comfortable even for big phones. And I can't say that the Pixel 9 Pro, the design looks that much better than the V60. Like, it looks good, but the V60 does not look like an old phone to me. That's what I'm trying to, hint at. It doesn't look old. I think if the cameras were bigger, it would look like a phone that came out right in 2024 for the most part. So again, hardware wise, I would give it to the V60 because you just have a lot of stuff going on here with the pen, the dual screen case, SD card support, headphone jack, etc. Alright, so let's talk about the display upgrade here with these two phones. So there is definitely an upgrade. So on the V60, you have a 6.8-inch display. It's a POLED HDR10 Plus. It is 1080p 395. It's only 60 Hz. You have the old school water drop notch as well too. With the 9 Pro XL, we have the LTPO, and this is an OLED 120 Hz. It's HDR10 Plus as well. And then we also get 3000 nits peak brightness, so it's much brighter than the V60 outdoors in direct sunlight. And it's also a 6.8-inch display, 1344 by 2992, so it's a much higher resolution as well too, 486 for the PPI. So overall, obviously the Pixel 9 Pro XL, it just has a better display across the board, giving you that 120 Hz, and then also giving you a much brighter display outdoors. Now, like I said, the V60 does have the dual screen case support, so that, you definitely give it points for that. Being able to have, basically two screens, on your V60, you can do some really true multitasking with. But from, reading comments and stuff like that, outdoor max brightness is pretty important for a lot of people if you're outside a lot. And then also the 120 Hz makes a big difference in just how smooth the phone feels, I guess. Now the V60 is pretty smooth, 60 Hz phone. You can ask, just in the comments, you can ask any V60 user. It's very smooth for 60 Hz, so it's not like it feels slow. But yeah, you will notice the 120 Hz for sure, guys. Alright, here is another important thing here which will decide your upgrades. The 9 Pro XL has 7 years of majorOS updates. This phone launched with Android 14. For some reason, Android 15 is right around the corner, but the V60 got its last update with Android 13 now. The software on the V60 is not irrelevant at all. It still feels extremely similar to Android 14. And it'll feel very similar to Android 15. As far as applications and stuff, I get this question a lot. Will the application stop working on the V60? Absolutely not. It will be a very long time before games and apps stop working on this phone. Application, well, it'll take information from screenshots and stuff like that. And then they also have the Pixel Studio application where you can come in here and use AI to make wallpapers. Android wallpaper. And you can come in here and just type stuff in here. This is one of the things that I kind of play with a lot. I don't know what this is, but yeah, you can come in here and make your own wallpapers. Very, very cool. And then also, you do have the Google Gemini stuff, which you have kind of like an AI assistant as well too, which you can kind of mess around with. So as the updates come, you'll find that you'll have more AI features and stuff like that. So you have that. If you care about AI, then this will be a great upgrade because the AI stuff is only going to get better as we get more updates. Alright, so we have to talk about the processors here. So the V60 has the Snapdragon 865 chip, 128 gigs of internal storage and 8 gigs of RAM. We also do have on the 9 Pro XL, we have Google's Tensor G4 processor, 128 gigs and 16 gigs of RAM. And yeah, you can see the score difference here. This is a pretty decent performance jump here. But what's interesting about this performance jump is that since the 865 is such an efficient processor, you're not going to have overheating problems, and this processor is not slow by any means. It feels pretty on par with the actual G4 processor. So if we just open up some applications, if you just pay attention to animations and stuff like that, you can see the 865 is pretty much still on par with this processor. It's not slow by any means. You might see a bigger difference when you come in games like this, but when we're talking, and just beat it again. But yeah, so when we are like in applications, if you look at animations and stuff like that, the V60 is pretty smooth. The thing that you will really notice again is the 120 hertz. That's what's making the Pixel seem smoother. But if this phone had 120 hertz, it would feel, kind of identical in terms of how these phones, operate. Also, let's go ahead and open up PUBG here, and we'll let this play out. Now, I will say, if you're opening a lot of applications, because you have so much RAM on the Pixel, you will be able to keep applications open more in the background. So that's a good thing about having, that amount of RAM, just way more RAM on this phone. Man, the V60 got in here again. Now, the unfortunate thing about these Pixel processors is that Google does not really put emphasis on gaming. So this phone is actually on par with the V60 when it comes to most games. PUBG, they play both at HDR Extreme. And the experience is pretty much the same. I wish that they would optimize this chip a little bit more for gaming. Because this phone can definitely play PUBG at 90 frames, 120 frames. So I would say if you're a gamer, you're not really getting that much of a upgrade if you do decide to go with the Pixels. You can see we got HDR Extreme on the V60, and if you use a dual screen case, it'll actually show like the map on the other screen, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's not a difference at all, in my opinion. You could argue that the V60, since they're so on par with each other, you can argue that since you have the SD card support, you can just load up more games if you're really a heavy gamer and stuff like that. So it's, you can make the argument that it's better for gaming, also with the dual screen case. So overall, this is not an upgrade, I think, at all for gaming. These feel like they're playing the same across the board. So whether it's Call of Duty or whatever you're playing. Let's check out these speakers at max volume. Yeah, you're definitely getting more bass on the Pixel. It's definitely louder. Yeah, I would easily give this to the Pixel. It definitely has the better speaker here. I think they're just, they're pretty much equal in terms of how loud they get, but it's just the overall bass is just really good on the Pixel. It's just more clear. Also, where the Pixel shines as well too is in this fingerprint department. So now we have a ultrasonic fingerprint scanner on the Pixel. It's much faster than the optical one on the V60. And then one of the things that I've never liked with the V60 is that you don't get a face unlock option. It's just the fingerprint scanner. Let's talk about the cameras on these two phones. So the V60 has a 64 megapixel standard, 13 megapixel ultra wide. It has a 0.3 depth sensor, shoots in 8K 30, and has a 10 megapixel selfie that shoots in 4K 30. The Pixel 9 Pro XL has a 50 megapixel sensor, has a 48 megapixel periscope telephoto with 5 times optical, and a 48 megapixel ultra wide. It can shoot in 8K 30 as well, and has a 42 megapixel selfie that shoots in 4K 60. So check out these side-by-side stills and video. Be sure to let me know, do you guys see a major upgrade in image quality? So one of the questions I also was getting is, does the Pixel 9 Pro XL have significantly better battery life than the V60? I'm gonna actually say no here. The V60 has very good battery life. Even for a phone this old, my standby time has always been excellent on the V60. I've never really had to worry about charging this phone. The battery life is just really good on here, so I don't think this is a major upgrade in the battery department. The Pixel 9 Pro XL's battery life has gotten better, especially from the 8 Pro. The standby time is better. You get a little bit more screen on time. But no, I don't think this is a big upgrade in terms of battery performance at all, in my opinion. The V60 has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. You pretty much have a 5,000 milliamp hour battery on the 9 Pro XL. They both have wireless charging. You do have reverse wireless charging on the Pixel. This does charge faster at 37 watts as well too. So you have an upgrade in that regard, but as far as overall battery performance and battery life, no, I don't think it's actually significant in that regard. So be sure to let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.